enough mats and resources to work with. You can really see him thinking outside of the box. The gas can looking like it's going to be used. They're just trying to break through and take control of the pieces without them expecting it.
Yeah, look, Albi led all players in damage and eliminations last week, so this isn't a player you want to take lightly in a fight by any means. Give him the time, give him the space, and he'll make something happen. The gas can is still going to really start to cause more issues. I thought it was going to cause more issues than that, but nevertheless, he has gotten the cone, and so we'll start to rain in from above. And that's going to catch them out. They're not expecting a 145 now, an even bigger shot being hit. You've got to think it's only a matter of time now until this one is fully locked up.
Gotta imagine they ran out of resources to continue to defend themselves. They didn't build the roof or a cone. That's where Albi and Ludwig were able to really take advantage. Trying to shockwave hammer to safety, but Ludwig and Albi doesn't want to let this elimination escape their hands, especially knowing that he does have a shockwave hammer. And they're going to find it. Give themselves a little bit more of a reward to work with, that shockwave hammer, and a way to rotate through the rest of this game.
What do we have here, though? Looks like Levino's in a fight. Queasy and Vino picking up one. As he used a big shot there being applied in. It looks like Vino wanted to get it all done again and connecting with that final shot. Queasy was putting in some work, so a nice start to the game for this duo. Again, started off today so hot, and of course they've picked up 2 victory royales today, so not too shabby of a performance. I would like to see them finish higher up though, but they do have a distance to catch up with Vanyak and Kami and Seti and Kami.
But at least they have a chance. That's going to be the biggest thing that they're trying to hold on to. And for Mustache and Tayson, it's about proving they can have a bounce back moment in a set lobby like this. They have a little bit of high ground that they're trying to throw with that slow-mo and Tuna on the other side. Tayson wastes no time with the shockwave trying to get into the box. Mustache is slow behind, but it's not going to be too big of a factor as they continue to find ways to reunite. But Tayson goes down. Just a few seconds of separation. Mustache trying to shockwave hammer up and over, but unable to really get the splash off in time. So it's he who's now solo by himself with his back up against the wall. They're trying to get into the box. Feet control going over. Options being dwindled down by Mustache. Tayson's finally going to be picked up. Huge amount of resources going on over to Tuna as they continue to chase down Mustache. Wall for wall, shot for shot. They're not wanting to let him escape, but Mustache, really quick, able to escape each and every attempt so far. But sometimes there's only so much one man can do. He finally goes down. Shockwave hammer going on over to Tuna and Slow.
Hey, look, the end of the road for Tayson and Mustache. They will be in the FNCS final though, so if they're a team you enjoy watching, you don't have to worry. We'll see them in a couple weeks' time. And as much as today wasn't their best day, and as much as we've not seen their best consistently this season, I wouldn't be too worried about them heading into the finals. They have 2 weeks to prepare. I know they've been putting in a lot of extra work as well to work out some of the kinks in their play. But for the teams who still have to try and make things happen in this lobby, big opportunity here. Kami and Vanyak, who their lead has been closed. At one point in this competition, they had a 60-point lead, right? So to think that now there's only 4 points separating them and second place is a testament to how impressive the rest of the lobby's been in catching up.
That's what makes moments like this that more important. They could have easily tried to stay. They could have easily tried to fight. You know how aggressive these two players can be. But they're going to choose to play for the long haul, the longer game, the big picture. Try to disengage, get on out as Malabuka and Thomas are taking multiple angles. Thomas is going to take a lot of the pressure and the focus, and that's what allow Malabuka to land a cheeky shot. 50 shield right off Clown, using the shockwave hammer to steal away the high ground at a moment's notice. Even getting the cone into the box to deny entry once again. Separating Frey from his teammate as Malabuka gets knocked down. That was a blessing in disguise as he continues to try to shockwave through. Doesn't get the reset, but not taking too much damage, so no worries just yet. Him and Thomas have a little bit of separation, a trade for trade. Him and Frey getting knocked down low, and that's going to force a disengage coming out from Malabuka, but the third party coming in, he needs help right now from Thomas. They need to be able to reunite in a situation like this.
Yeah, I was going to say at first that Frey and Calm, Frey don't want to take this kind of a fight, especially against this opposition, but they've made a really good job of shutting out Thomas and Malabuka, not making things easy for them, and of course that third party and Kyrie and Ping just making things even more awkward. And so all of a sudden here, Frey and Clown, they might live to see another day. They might just scurry on out here. And again, they do need to have a big hit game here in the last one. They need as many serious points as they can get.
I like Kyrie and Ping just uncontested towards Lonely, where you're not going to get a lot of surge. Just firing down a couple of shots, landing a couple tags, and immediately keeping it moving. As Scram and Trippin answered the call, needing a big day. They've done just that, securing their spot. Hopefully they don't fall too far from where they're at. Things have slowed down, but with the final game upon us, what a better way to really rise and kind of let this be the last showing anybody's going to remember before Surge Week, before Grands.
Yeah, of course, right? Even if you are a team that knows your spot is guaranteed in the finals, you want to use this as the best practice you're probably going to get in the next couple of weeks leading up to that moment. The revive here is going to play right into the hands of Janice and Reason as Drew gets taken out. And Lord Beerus isn't really going to be able to do much to stop it. Fortunately here for Drew, it looks like there's a high chance that his tournament is done.
I like this thinking. They, instead of just pushing the reboot, not letting him get it off, they allow it to kind of go through all together. That's 4 more points for them. And the continuous 2v1 situation as Beer's trying to get out. Shockwave Hammer combined with the Aerialist, trying to find a moment for stability. Continues to Shockwave out, but that double-edged sword, he's taking damage while finding his escape. 35 white HP, and that was going to be the last shot. He goes down altogether. And Janice and Reason have found themselves a Shockwave Hammer. And
a chance in this game again to remind us of why we've been so impressed with them. Speaking of impressive, City and Cammy, what a story that would be for them to close out today in first place. Of course, I think the whole season we've all been waiting to see them reach the level of their invitational win. But nevertheless, even if it took 3 weeks of qualifiers and a couple Elite Cups to get here, we are at a crossroads in which they have the chance to finish a tournament in first place. What a time to do it would be as well. It's that last reminder before we head into the Surge Week in the finals. Hey, we are still here. You do still have to worry about us.
What a great time to catch fire for anybody realistically. Includes Perchow and Joker. Hellspy and Refsguard, who we've seen game after game, battle tooth and nail. So many teams really have an opportunity to rise to the top of the ranks, build some confidence, solidify a nice game plan, and realize how a lot of players are going to play in a set lobby like this, because it is a little bit of a different beast going for the 2 weeks to make it here into the third and final session, and then this set lobby where you have only the best of the best going at it.
Easy and Dino.
Wow. We've never been lower than 10th on the leaderboard since game 1 of week 1.
That tells you everything you need to know about this duo, right? And who they are to this lobby, who they are to EU, who they are to the world of Fortnite. If you want to improve in your game, this is a team to watch. The funny thing here is I think many people will be wondering how much do they really have in this game? How much of a stake do they have? Because for a while now, their spot in the FNCS final has been guaranteed. So we'll see whether or not they're going to be an annoyance to everybody else in the lobby who is trying their hardest to squeeze out some extra series points, because the better these guys do, the more those points just get pushed down in terms of the distribution beneath everyone. Snazy and Andalex, they have a position here where they're going to look to hold Zangi and Zara in the zone. Tuna and Snowman in a similar spot to do so as well.
Just thinking to myself, speaking about annoyances, imagine trying to fight just to get into the zone. You have 4 different players taking shots at you. Not wanting to let that one come a possibility, but for Tuna and Slow-Mo, they don't want to get caught in that same position, so they're trying to rotate a little bit quicker than you'd think, saving the charges onto the Shockwave Hammer until they need them most. They could probably use the Mountain, try to shield themselves for one of those teams that's high in the sky, trying to put down as much damage on the lobby. See Slow Bay and Artie into the distance, trying to get themselves closer and closer to the zone. But Pachawa and Joker are going to try to gatekeep anybody out, but they too still need to find their own rotation in, but they have the height of the mountain to go ahead and gather that information as they make their journey on over.
Of course, the good thing about their journey is that there are players you can see down beneath them at the foot of this hill that are trying to rotate in, and so plenty of opportunities to hold teams and lift them to surge. Banyak and Kami sitting rather central in the zone, and so not looking too bad in terms of the general positioning, but being just one damage point above that threshold. And now it's updated beneath that threshold. We will call for them to start hitting shots, but again, in this final lobby, players playing a bit more conservatively. Nobody wanting to over-peak or overextend as they try their best to stay alive in this game.
And the only thing about their position right now is that side of the zone isn't going to force and push too many players in. It's not going to be as stacked as the top side. So the opportunity isn't necessarily going to be there. The slow-mo and tuna don't need that same opportunity. At one point or another, over 200 above, but slowly falling down. But they built themselves that cushion so they can go ahead and take all the time that they need in order to rotate in. As Vanyak looking like he's trying to make a sneaky play. Donde and Mag might not see this one coming. And oh man, this is going to be a nightmare if he's able to pull this one off. 22 below. Vanyak needs this, and he doesn't see it coming. That was a perfect shot. Over 100. He gets the knock. Huge sneaky plays from Vanyak. Not only does it keep him alive, but keeps him in the game and a chance to take first. But down goes Karmi. He gets tagged up, over peak and trying to go for Surge on his own. And there it goes. Kyrie trying to go ahead and build up. He's a solo. You don't see Vico anywhere nearby, and he gets tagged up. Vanyak trying to be the hero to save the day. Jumps right into the box in the nick of time. Kylie goes down. Vico wasn't there to save the day. They were too separated trying to make some plays.
That is so unfortunate that Karmi goes down, because that initial play from Vanyak was sensational. And unfortunately for him, his teammate just got caught out. And so now he's doomed to play this game as a solo, but if he can hit a couple shots and put on his best Vanyak impression in terms of a big clutch. The door's not completely closed. Good to see Vino and Queasy still in this one, of course. A decent distance they've had to travel.
4 eliminations. You can see them trying to stabilize themselves after what looks like a hard-fought battle. Wow, Vino almost gets surprised right there. Ends up behind him, but still lands the shots that matter.
Well, again, this is the fear, right? If they're in this lobby and they're thinking, look, let's just W key, let's just go all out, try to get as many eliminations as possible. That's all fun and games for them. For the teams on the receiving end of that, you know, that becomes so much more difficult in terms of trying to have any sort of stability, trying to sort of have any sort of hope of getting more serious points, right? And so these guys really are the lobby bosses right now. And I expect to see them continue to W key as long as we are in this one. Janice, though, he doesn't have that same luxury. His teammate, Reason, is down. And they still want to try to get as many series points as possible, so he'll still hope to push himself up in the standings a bit. There's room for that.
And we're really talking about so many teams, including Tripper and Scram, that needed a big day. I saw into the distance Trulex and Chicho. They're fighting just to go to Surge Week, let alone trying to get into the grand final. Scram is just 1 damage below the threshold. It's not too much of a worry. They're not going to be frantically bobbing and weaving in and out of these covers to try to find it. They know it's just only a matter of time. It's probably around the corner, peeking through. They hear a fight on the other side of the wall, taking control of that one, and that's Trulex and Chicho right above, ready to strike at a moment's notice. And I like how they just really stopped in their tracks. I don't know if they heard or just maybe something that they felt, that danger looming around the corner.
Speaking of danger, seems like their W keying hasn't really got them far, because right now Queasy's down and it looks like Vino's going to follow very shortly. Of course, the Shadow Bomb will allow him to stay in this one just for a couple more moments, but you've got to think at some point now he's going to fall with just 14 HP. I don't know how he's even still alive right now. That's some Vino magic. How long is that magic going to last? The bush. We're doing wonders in terms of a bit of extra cover and protection. With so many people now getting lobby focused, getting lobby sprayed. How long can Vino survive? Not much longer. Flodax is the one to get the finishing blow. That's good news for everybody else in the lobby.
I was just thinking to myself, that was a huge find with the big bush bomb. You saw him start to regenerate some of the health thanks to the bush warrior. Unfortunately, everybody else saw that big find. We're not trying to let him get away with a miracle. That's not a player you want to let survive at any moment in the game. If you have a chance to kind of send him back to the lobby, as Snazy and Analix 1,000 above the damage threshold, they're just trying to make that clean rotation in. They don't have much mobility to work with, so timing is of the essence.
Yeah, they have to be very precise, very deliberate about this rotation because there's so many players just running their way on in. Of course, we're seeing now the shadow bombs become a bit more prevalent as Cheat Choke makes his way on in. Trying to spot in the zone that isn't too bad. The problem is here is when it comes to materials, he doesn't have much to work with at all. This isn't a solid box by any means. If the wrong person spots him out, he might meet his end, might meet his demise. Grolls currently sitting in a bush all the way up above here. And he's not looking too shabby by any means.
Really looking calm, cool, collected. Doesn't look too frantic or antsy either. Communicating everything that he sees on over to Fire Hunter. Probably one of the higher teams in the sky right now. Can they hold on to it is going to be the key and question we asked with only 56 builds. It's definitely going to be a testament to their game plan overall. Scram trying to peek it through the cone, spotting where the zone's going. You can see the mark coming out. They know this is going up and over the mountain. So that information is crucial for everybody to gather before the zone begins to move.
Yeah, this is the last chance to make a first moving rotation, so you got to make it count. You got to plan it out well. For these guys here on our screens, Rox and Robot, they have a hammer, and so that makes things just that bit easier for them when making that. The key is to land on safe ground, and with hammers in the game, there's never really safe ground. Fortunately for them, they're here on the side of the hill, and they look to try to get up and over. Tanking a bit of the storm hit to get in, but that isn't too bad. They're maybe even going to find something along the way. Robot, though, staying a bit more composed. Not as hungry, but that might just be his demise, because Ludwig and Albi, they're now on the chase, and Wox has to do things solo.
He got caught slipping, tunnel visioning too hard. Doesn't watch his backside as Wox now stuck as a solo, but to work with. But the Kings on the high ground have overtaken Seti and Cammy, trying to go back-to-back to close the day. Could be a huge opportunity for them to do just that.
Look, they're trying to get another one. They're not just satisfied with second place. They want it all. They want first place. And they're going to play height as well to do it. We talked about their dynamism. They're showing us that right now. Comfortable on any layer you give them. Vanyak, though, it's his job to stop them from being able to take his position in first. And if he is to do that without his duo with him, he has to put on one of his classic solo clutches. Even just staying alive for as long as possible would do him wonders. And with just being down to wood, it's going to come down to what he can do with his shotgun in hand.
Basically, Vanyak versus Seti and Cammy for first place. Here late in the game, I could break it down. You see so many teams trying to use shockwave hammers to get to the top side of zone. For Vanyak, power to you. He doesn't have a shockwave hammer, but he has 9 splashes to stagger himself out and try to mantle himself to the front side. Working his way through. Belusi doing the same. Grolls and Fire Hunter stuck on the backside. Fire Hunter is lost, but Grolls is able to find one on a coupe. Vanyak stay alive. He makes magic happen yet again, and he found the shockwave hammer, Levin.
This is a solo, but he has the power of 2 players right now. Big shots being connected in a shockwave hammer that he should be able to use to get back into the zone when the time comes. It's going to be close, but he should get there. Cammy and Say, they're still chilling up above, and he will go right back down beneath this hill. He's playing this so well. He's absolutely on fire right now.
He's asking everybody right now, do you believe in magic? Because I got a trick up my sleeve. 4 eliminations so far. The 2-horse race between Seti and Cammy and that solo is Tripper and Scram getting smushed down low as farther as they could possibly go. Vanyak's on the other side of that cover. They have no builds, so you know they're going to try to go for a refresh. And this is going to be a make-or-break moment.
Vanyak, he needs to do it. He's shown us plenty of tricks, but where is the prestige? Does he have it? Tries to hit a big shot. No. Eventually will fall, and that opens the door for Seti and Cammy to roll through. Trippin and Scram, though, a big find for them. That keeps them in this game.
Huge opportunity for Albi and Ludwig as well, making up for lost time. 7 splashes. They have so much in their inventory, so many resources, but with Zone continuously to pull back, that allows Seti and Cammy to recycle a lot of the builds. Wox lost Robot long before, and this is his chance, trying to bandage up, get everything that he can, looks down below, spots that team, trying to play passive. Only 4 builds to his name. He's trying to optimize everything that he has in his inventory.
Wox just dancing around here. Wants to try and conserve his builds where possible for an emergency, but this may just be an emergency as he drops down. A cheeky little shot into Scram, but Scram's not going to be too happy about that. They're going to make him pay, they're going to punish him, but they need to be careful themselves as he's pulling up the hill. And so they need to now try to dance around, use their builds that they have. It's not pulling in their favor. Trippin will be able to get out because he has a shockwave hammer and Scram as well, but they need to do things swiftly, they need to do things quickly.
Oh, the side of the mountain, those builds is going to save Scram, but down goes Tripper, and it's now him as a solo. Into the top 4 we go. This is going to be a momentous effort for Scram to try to stay alive. He has the men miss, he has the splash, just waiting for the shockwave charge to go ahead and regain, so that way he can use it to get to the front side of zone. But Seti and Cammy, the pressure for zone after zone, holding on to that high ground, really just putting so much destruction down below.
Oh my goodness, you can see down below, Moneymaker and Brant, they get back together. They are one of the few duos remaining in this one. And so it's going to be up to them to really determine how things play out. For Seti and Cammy, they've not had much of an opportunity to even get a limbs with the way the zone's been pulling back and forth, over and under hills. It's meant that most of the lobby's been hidden to them, but now they can finally see their eyes are wide open, and they will have their eyes on the players below. The likes of Scram, who fall into the traps of Moneymaker and Brant. They're going to take him out, walking right into their sights, and Geras now, he's going to try to cause some issues for them, but he seems like he's probably going to have the same exact fate as the Dane did, because he is going to go down as well. And so now Seti and Cammy, Seti actually dropping all the way down into the mix. He wants to end things now. He doesn't want to wait. He just wants his second victory out of the day.
He wants to take it by force. He doesn't want to let just him live towards the low ground. He wants to dominate the rest of the game through and through. He's going to land that perfect shot. 119. Cammy's there. Falling into the fray. Down goes Seti, though. 1v1 situation. Cammy trying to hold on to the high ground, play for the heal off. This is a perfect moment for him to try to finish it off. The splash is going down low. Does Brant have enough to make it back into the game? He has the shockwave hammer. Only 2 splashes left. Will he make it happen, Levin?
He's going to run out of gas. There's not much he can do unless he hits a shot now. And Cammy knows it. He just needs to hide, but he's been spotted out. He needs to hammer his way. Will he actually survive? He will. Another 1v1 that Cammy wins to win the game. That's 2 now in a row. Cammy and Seti are insane.
Catching fire at the perfect moment. Games 5, Game 6. The last thing mostly anybody will remember right before Surge Week. And that's got to be a huge boost of confidence for them, realizing, hey, doesn't matter what happened earlier on in the season, we're here and we're now.
And you've got to think it's pretty safe to say that that is going to solidify first place here in Qualifier 3 for this duo. A duo that maybe, just maybe, took a bit too long to reach this level, but boy, am I glad they are finally showing us what they can do, what they are capable of. I always call it the Polish plow rolling through the rest of the lobby.
Hey, they might have gotten first. We knew that the moment Vanyak went down, but they already had their spot in Grands. There's so much more everybody's fighting for. A shot at Grands and a shot at Surge Week. Zeke, let us know who made it through.
Thank you so much, Jacob, PR, 11-2K, for an amazing 6 games here in EU for Seti and Cammy. This goes beyond just coming in first place this week. They don't have eyes on Surge Week. They don't have eyes on Grand Finals. They have eyes on a global championship. You can tell this duo has one thing in mind. We want to win Major 1 because we want that guaranteed spot. Take a look. They overtake Vanyak, Carmi. They said, not today. We appreciate your effort. Very valiant, but we are the ones that will sit at the top.
I mean, listen, if you want me to just break it down for you right now, I'll tell you everything that Seti and Cammy are good at, right? Here's the checklist. Everything, actually.
Literally.
Go ahead. There it is. They're good at everything.
Honestly, I was like, where you go with that? You're going to have to do a long list there. But like I was just saying, even previously, like, they can't do it all. And they just, they're showing off. Are they not? They are showing off. They're like, one's not enough. Let's get 2. And I love it because they are just so smart, tactical with their plays too. And even the knowledge they have behind the timing of the storm, everything. He's like, I have to hammer away at the end. And like, I love this duo so much.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, the highlight kind of goes to Cammy right there because he does end up winning the 1v1. I mean, shout out to him, right? The amount of different items that he's carried throughout the day, it's very unconventional what we saw in the first weeks. He's got the berries in the end game, making full use out of them. But then Seti right here is the one actually putting in the work. I mean, 113 right there. Quickly turns around, hits the 106, finds the knock to make sure that he can trust Cammy right there in the 1v1. I mean, like I said, I'll say it again. They can do it all.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. We just pointed out last time that they were using the Falcon Scout. Now they're holding so many different types of resources. They're utilizing everything, and it's awesome to see that no matter what they're holding, they're going to use it for their advantage, and it's working out for them, for sure.
That's right. Tripper and Scram currently sitting in 4th place, up 5 placements here in the final game of the day in EU. And we talked about these guys at the beginning of the show, and we've been talking about them because their duo were falling, right? They had to perform well today if they wanted to go to Grands. And here we are, sitting in top 5.
Yeah, 100%. Getting into the end game here, kind of finding themselves squished on the low ground, but making the most out of it, kind of just bringing everybody to them. Always just very, very quick on their feet, even ending it off with like a very good solo cuts at the end of this, man. Just a very clean game, and you can see the aim's there as well.
Yeah, they got that teammate down, and they were able to use the hammers to get up. It almost didn't happen for them. This was so cool to watch because I was like, oh, he's not going to make it. There's no way. And then he makes it because both of their teammates, they both have a hammer, which is awesome for them in this situation. But the fact that he was able to get up and stay in long enough, placement, everything was just going well for him, especially the solo. Until there at the end, but again, still placement great. He played it very well. I'm very impressed.
I mean, Zeke, listen, Vaniac was also a solo and an end game. We saw it was around like that half and half fourth zone where they kind of went for a sneaky play in Vaniac. It worked out so well, but unfortunately, Carmi went down and Vaniac was just left to do it throughout the rest of the game, made it into the end game, and almost, right, like only 20 points behind Kemian today because they did have that lead. Ended up losing it, but still a heck of a performance from them.
Yeah, and we did just highlight a duo a moment ago, Tripper and Scram. We spoke to Scram at the beginning of the show. Why don't we hear from Tripperin? That's right. What's going on, man? It's so good to see you. How you feeling after the day?
I feel pretty decent. We didn't play like how we wanted, but in spite of being conned in 3 games, it was still fine. So I'm pretty happy.
I mean, I feel like you played pretty well. I mean, what is those things that you guys are hoping to improve by the time Grands rolls around?
We were struggling a bit with Surge today. Like I think like 1, 2, 3 games, and I know we just didn't like play it like 100% like how we wanted to. So yeah, that's just what we're gonna try to fix, and then just try to keep on improving, and
So you've skipped Surge Week. You're chilling right now, but I know that you guys are not going to be really chilling. I know that you're going to put in work. Is there anything specifically you're going to focus on going into next week?
I think we're just gonna watch review a lot, and then just fix some mistakes, and then just pray for the best. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, hey man, Storm Surge is difficult, but anytime you guys make it into the end game, I saw in that last game right there, big focus on the low ground. Kind of what's the ideal position looking like for you guys? You guys want to focus on high, mid, low ground? What does it look like?
Yeah, we tend to play low a lot because we just frag out there, and it's pretty easy to play for us, I would say.
We've seen you do that. Yeah, we've seen you do that. And you do it very well, so absolutely.
Thank you.
Trippin', so now you know, okay, we're going into Grands, and let's, this lobby was pretty tough. But Grands is a whole other difficulty, right? It's that final difficulty, that final boss. How does that change your guys' mindset going into the 2-day format, and of course, looking around the lobby and thinking you guys are all just as good as we are?
I feel like it doesn't really change anything. We're just gonna keep on playing the same, and nothing really changes.
Do what you practice, and you do it well. We had talked about that.
Just play it like it's a scrim game. That's how we're gonna play.
I love that.
There's not even tournaments for me anymore, right? Like, all these are scrim games.
If you think
a lot of scrim games.
If you think that way, you put too much pressure on yourself. If you just think about it in that mindset, you just play like you know. So it's perfect.
When you're as good as Tripperin, that's all. Everything is a scrim game to me. No big
you know me.
Well, Tripperin, thank you so much for your time. Where can the audience find you? Because I know they're all looking at you and they're thinking, I got to become this guy's fan.
The people can find me Trippon on Twitter, Man City Trippon on Twitter, and Trippon on Twitch, and Trippon on Instagram. And that's it.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys for both stopping by, and of course, we'll see you in Grand Finals. My, oh my, so many incredible duos, so much to look forward to. When is it all happening? Let's take a look at the broadcast schedule. So that's it for this week as far as EU and NA is concerned. But remember, next week, Surge Week. That's going to basically amp everything up, okay? If you want to watch high-octane, intense Fortnite action where only the Victory Royale matters, and then the top 5 will also go straight to Grand Finals, make sure you come back then, and of course, Grand Finals. March 4th and 5th. That is the conclusion of Major Number 1. An Axe of Champions, prize money, and a guaranteed spot to Global Championships later on this year. Now, as we get ready to say goodbye, I hate this part so much. Final thoughts before we say goodbye. Don't. I'm gonna cry.
I am just so excited that we have more Fortnite on the way. It's not the end. Don't be sad, Zeke. There's still more, and to be honest, even better Fortnite on the line.
I'm just excited that everybody now knows that I'm certified 6 foot.
Yeah.
Oh my god. By the way, if you're 6 foot, then like I'm looking like
6'2",
right?
6'2". See, he knows.
Hey, good day for me too, then, right?
Okay, I'm gonna have to update my driver's license now too, because apparently, if you are, then I definitely am.
Oh my gosh. What do you guys have as far as expectations going into Surge Week? It's basically like a reboot round if you've ever watched one of those, and I enjoy myself in Victory Royale.
Look, Next week for Surge Week. Game number 2, my boys Pink and Nebs, they're going to win it.
Wow.
Mark this
Whoa.
down. Game number 2 specifically. Game
That's
number 2.
the 11 guarantee.
That is the 11 2K guarantee that they're going to win the game.
Clip it right there.
We've